Rolling. The house lights dim. There's a fanfare. A voice comes over the loudspeaker. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present today's most honored musician, Duke Ellington. Harry Carney stamps his foot and the band begins to play. Dap doop dap take the A train dooby deep dip doo wap. A grinning fellow enters. He bounces along almost swaggering, apparently casual, but trying to hide the stage fright he expects any minute. When he gets to the microphone, no matter what position it's in, he has to readjust it, or fidget with it, or fondle it. Finally, over the microphone, he speaks. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for such a wonderful, warm reception. All the kids in the band want you to know that we do love you madly. Now, I would like to have you meet one of my favorite people, our new young apprentice piano player. He gestures expectantly to the wing, but no one enters, so he goes immediately to the piano stool and sits down. The stool is always in the wrong position, but he doesn't change it, and he starts plunking the piano. The rhythm section of bass and drums joins him in a prologue strains of rockin' in rhythm. At a certain or uncertain point, this goes into 8 bars that precede the 5 saxes getting up from their seats, walking downstage to the microphone, and all together playing down from the top of Rocking in Rhythm. Harry Connick's clarinet also is followed by Booty Wood's plunger-muted trombone, and Cootie Williams and Money Jefferson. And Cootie Williams and Money Johnson join the latter in the wah-wah feet. Back to their seats they all go, and the ensemble screeches to a climax, doing chords up and down, up and out, to the end of Rocking in Rhythm. Duke Ellington gets up from the piano, waves to the band, and enjoins the musicians to look handsome. They all rise, some quick and military, and some so slowly we would wonder whether or not they will likely make it, but they'll do eventually. Thank you, says Duke Ellington at the microphone. That was Rockin' in Rhythm, 1929. And now Creole Love Call, 1927. I shall never forget 1927. I was 3 weeks old that year. The audience acknowledges the mathematical miscalculation with smiles and sometimes laughs at the fun in his fantasy. There is a 4-bar piano production, and then the 3 clarinets are at the microphone for Creole Love Call. As it ends, Duke Ellington gestures and announces Russell Proco as the clarinet soloist. Russell, holding the clarinet delicately, a magic wand wingles angle, takes a distinguished bow. Having established his obvious era, Duke Ellington pauses and says, at the Monterey Jazz Festival, we introduced a new suite called the Afro-Eurasian Eclipse. It was inspired by a statement made by Mr. Marshall McLuhan of the University of Toronto. He says that the whole world is going Oriental and that nobody will be able to retain his or her identity, not even the Orientals. Now we travel around the world quite a bit, and during the last 7 or 8 years we have noticed coming about. We have written this suite and would like to play a piece of it for you now. In this particular segment, ladies and gentlemen, we have adjusted our perspective to that of the kangaroo and the didgeridoo, which automatically puts us down under and out back. From this viewpoint, it is most improbable that one can tell who is enjoying the shadow of whom. Harold Ashby has been inducted to the responsibility of obligation of scraping off a tiny chip of the charisma of his Chinacea, also immediately after the piano player completes his rikki-tikki. The audience seems to enjoy this variegated performance as Ash takes them from down under to down home in between Oriental motifs. At the New Orleans Jazz Festival, Duke Ellington resumes, we premiered another new work called the New Orleans Suite, And we should like to have Norris Turney come up for the solo spot. He, ladies and gentlemen, will attempt to give a tone parallel to the excruciating ecstasy one finds oneself suspended to when one is in the throes of the tingling, rhythmic jollies of Bourbon Street. The introduction doesn't quite prepare the audience for what follows. Norris' lyrical portrayal of the overall pastoral enchantment of New Orleans on his flute. And so the program rolls on until it's time to bid farewell. And Duke Ellington is saying, "Love you madly," not only in English, but in the languages of all many countries he has visited since the band first went to Europe in 1933.